Hey, fam! Once again, bringing you a scandal so fiery that just reading the headlines nearly made me break a sweat. Grab your popcorn and maybe a cold drink because this Hollywood legal battle is bigger than a red carpet premiere. We're talking about Blake Lively, the queen of dazzling red carpet moments, now caught up in a legal mess that has everyone, from your grandma to Ryan Reynolds, doing a double take. And trust me, if you thought Blake was all sunshine and rainbows, think again, because the drama is real. And the receipts? They're downright explosive. But before we dive into the chaos, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tap that notification bell. Let's be honest, you don't want to miss a single twist in this unfolding saga. Ready? Let's spill the tea. Once upon a time, well, more like 5 minutes ago, everyone was hyped about the film adaptation of It Ends With Us, directed by none other than Justin Baldoni. You probably recognize Justin from his heartfelt roles in Philanthropy. Basically, he's been seen as an all-around good guy, or so we thought. Blake Lively was set to bring her signature charm to the cast, and on the surface, everything seemed perfect. A best-selling novel, a skilled director, and a beloved leading lady. Sounds like the ideal recipe for a blockbuster hit, right? Spoiler alert, perfection was nowhere to be found. Behind the scenes, the atmosphere wasn't giving family-friendly film set vibes. Instead, it was more like a Real Housewives reunion on steroids. Whispers started circulating. Something was off. Reports suggested that Blake and Justin weren't exactly seeing eye to eye. Crew members looked perpetually tense, and behind closed doors, hush-hush murmurs hinted that if you caught them off camera, you could physically feel the tension in the air. At first, Blake pointed fingers at Justin, accusing him of being the mastermind behind negative press about her. Allegedly, rumors started floating around that she was difficult to work with, basically full-on diva mode, prioritizing her luxurious dressing room requests over the actual movie. Naturally, her fans had her back. Because let's be real, who wants to believe that the radiant, effortlessly charming Blake Lively could be anything but delightful? For a moment, public opinion was firmly on Blake's side. Everyone was convinced that Justin Baldoni was the villain, allegedly planting negative stories that made Blake sound about as warm and cuddly as a cactus. Fans rushed to her defense, lamenting how she was always the victim of Hollywood's power-hungry producers with hidden agendas. But as we all know, in Hollywood, the truth is never simple. The moment one side gains sympathy, new receipts start flying in, flipping the entire narrative on its head. At first, it was just a trickle, a vague text here, a curious email there. But then, boom, an avalanche of behind-the-scenes messages surfaced, painting a completely different picture. Instead of "Justin is out to get me," the leaked documents suggested that Blake was actually the one pulling the strings. She was allegedly cozying up to certain media contacts and, just maybe, stoking the anti-Baldoni PR fire herself. Fans who once worshipped Blake were shook. Imagine discovering that your favorite celebrity might have been the source of those anonymous leaks, painting her co-star as moody, controlling, or even incompetent. It was like finding out your childhood crush was actually the school bully. Suddenly, the Blake is the victim narrative started wobbling, like a Jenga tower during an earthquake. Meanwhile, Justin, he stayed quiet. But don't mistake that silence for defeat. He was quietly stacking receipts, piecing together a detailed color-coded timeline showing exactly where the negative stories about him had originated. And guess what? They all seem to trace back to Miss Lively herself. If you had caught any of the early press events for It Ends With Us, you might have sensed something was off. Normally, co-stars shower each other with praise. Justin's an incredible director. Blake is a dream to work with. But this time, not so much. Instead, interviews were filled with curt responses and strangely defensive remarks. Every time Justin's name came up, Blake's eyes practically rolled to the back of her head. That's when fans started doing what they do best, digging through old footage. Was this just a bad day, or had the tension always been there? Surprise, surprise. Some older clips showed Blake getting abruptly cut off mid-sentence, or subtly redirecting conversations to put herself back in the spotlight. Naturally, the media pounced on these blink-and-you'll-miss-it moments like seagulls attacking a stray French fry. Blake wasn't having it. She clapped back, insisting that Justin and his team were behind the smear campaign. She even pointed to a particularly scathing New York Times article that depicted Justin as some kind of tyrannical overlord, overshadowing her presence on set. But here's where it gets really interesting. Those who had access to the unedited text messages noticed something odd. Entire sections had been removed. Emojis? Gone. Jokes? Missing. Half sentences? Chopped up and rearranged like a jigsaw puzzle to create an entirely new narrative. Feeling like we've stepped into an alternate reality yet? Because same. As the drama continued to spiral, rumors started circulating that Blake's ultimate goal wasn't just to clear her name. She wanted control. We're talking full creative authority, rewriting scripts, final say on editing, maybe even deciding who got to fetch the coffee on set. Okay, maybe not that last part, but you get the idea. Word on the street was that Blake was allegedly calling in reinforcements. Her powerful A-list friends, including Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift, were supposedly being used as leverage. The whispers claimed she threatened to have Taylor boycott the entire marketing campaign if she wasn't given more creative input. Now, is that a direct quote? No. But you get the vibe. Some fans were stunned. The Blake they admired was supposed to be the girl next door sweetheart, not some behind-the-scenes puppet master. But the deeper you dig, the messier it gets. To be fair, Hollywood is a game of leverage. Is it really that surprising that a star of Blake's caliber would want to control her own public image? Not really. The real question is, how far did she go? Because based on these leaked documents, it looks like she went all in. Once the backlash began shifting, Justin seemingly decided, all right, we're playing for keeps? Cool. Let me just open up my vault of unsent messages. And when he did, the drama exploded. One of the biggest bombshells? A series of text messages that completely contradicted Blake's claims about Justin invading her privacy while she was pumping milk in her trailer. According to these messages, she was the one who invited him in. Blake had claimed that Justin barged into her trailer uninvited, but leaked messages told a different story. She was the one who had invited him in. She even joked about how awkward the timing was. Justin, always the gentleman, reportedly offered to reschedule multiple times. Not exactly the version of events Blake shared with the public, right?